I was 5 years old, I went through an accident where the big toe on my right foot was cut off by a lawnmower. Um, so that's sort of, and at 5 years old, that sort of shapes your childhood in a way. I think that happened. I don't know what grade you're in when you're 5 years old. Uh, Maybe it was preschool. But so that's a little bit, that kind of shaped that era of my life. Uh, well, so I was good friends with a guy, again, 5 years old. So, he's one of my best buddies. And I was at his house. We were playing, and we were like having a water, the grass is wet. And so dad comes around from the backyard on a riding lawnmower. And 5-year-old boy wants to ride on the riding lawnmower. The grass is wet, ran up to the lawnmower and slipped on the wet grass. Put the knee. And I actually had no idea I would be doing.
Has it affected your mouth?
So because I was so young when it happened, the doctor said it was almost as if I was born that way, and that's how I grew up. I got used to walking with it like this, so I walk perfectly fine. If an adult right now, you or me, were to lose a big toe, we would have so much trouble walking because we rely so heavily on our big toes. And I got into the military, so it didn't affect me but so much.
So this wasn't, you have your own podcast, you know?
Yeah.
This wasn't covered on your own podcast?
Nobody. So to be honest with you, Matthew, I've never been in this seat before. I'm always the one sitting where you are, kind of leading and guiding the conversation, doing most of the talking. That's not true. Doing most of the asking. Never come up. Nobody's asked me. I remember bits and pieces of it. Most people don't remember much from 5 years old. I remember the sound it made when, like, I went underneath. It's kind of like, you cut your own lawn, and when you run over a very large stick in the yard, it makes a pretty loud crack. And so I remember that sound. I remember the dad who was using the lawnmower. I remember being in his arms. He was carrying me inside. And then I remember being on the kitchen table. My leg was elevated. I remember seeing blood kind of running down my leg. I remember the ambulance getting there, riding in the ambulance. I actually remember a fair amount. So, however you want to psychoanalyze it, I'm sure that shapes 5-year-old a little bit. I heard it said the other day really, really well. But so, like an extrovert, someone who's outgoing, they wake up with 0 points. And as they interact with people throughout the day, they get more points. And they end the day with 5. Now, like, you start with 0, you interact with people, and you got 5 points. An introvert wakes up with 5 points. And as they interact with people, they spend their coins and they end up with 0 at the end of the day. So how do you fill your coins? How do you recharge your batteries?
You just watched a short from the Open Booth podcast. Real conversations, real people, great new locations. Check out the full episode in the description below.